and welcome to the first week of playoffs. You guys just watched a banger of an R6 match, and unfortunately, uh, one team had to get knocked out. But here, we're about to experience another one of these matches as one of these teams will have to go home as it is the best of three. Mystic taking on Valkarie. It's playoffs time. I'm Nightstar, and I'm joined by Ty. How are you feeling?
I'm doing good. We got the COVID vaccine today, so just taking it a little easy, but excited for the matchup. We got three maps today, best of three. I believe our first one tonight is Ascent. Second
Mhm.
one then will be Haven, and if it does go to that third matchup, we are gonna have Icebox. I like Icebox personally. I love playing on it, so hoping we do get to see that map go into play tonight.
Yeah, and I love the map choices in general here. Ascent, really balanced. Haven, yeah, I have a couple of reservations about Haven. Um, but I think a lot of people have those reservations about Haven. And then of course Icebox is probably one of the best competitive maps released to date. But then of course we now have Breeze. Unfortunately, we won't see that in play this week. But what are your initial thoughts about Breeze though?
I haven't played it much, but it's an open map, right? A lot of
Yep.
opportunity to hold those angles with an op, as well as, just holding the Vandal on the corner, or judge, anything like that. So there's a lot of different options of what you can do, which I really like.
hmm
But at the same time, it's just so open that it makes pushing or rotating something that's really a challenge, which is different from a lot of the other maps we see.
Yeah, and the size is definitely a big difference from all the other maps we have seen. Of course, Icebox also presented its own set of challenges with a lot of verticality, which has been really fun to watch. And instead of going vertical, we've decided to go horizontal with Breeze. But
Yeah.
we're about to get into game very shortly. What are your thoughts as far as Ascent or at least our opening map goes?
Okay. I Different take here, but I personally I'm not a fan of Ascent, man.
Okay.
I can never find success on that map. Maybe it's because I'm a jet main or something like that. But um, it's a map, a lot of open corners, but also a lot of close corners, close quarters. You have that B
hmm
main entrance as well as A. Both sites, those entrances are really close. You could hold them
Yep.
with a variety of different guns, weapons. The abilities or something on this map specifically that's just a difference maker, right? If you have those smokes or that cipher tripwire, that can make the real difference when it comes to winning and losing key rounds towards your either victory or your loss here tonight.
Yeah, those choke points prove to be quite the challenge, especially when you're solo queuing, playing by yourself. Communications a little bit underwhelming. And then those are very frustrating to try and get through. Trying to coordinate a way to get through those choke points, and uh, I think really, of course, the big um, point of contention has to be mid because you can push if you get mid control, then really the map opens up for you because then you can have the option of pushing and pulling the defense in various directions, and hopefully we get to see some of that here today, or if they just try and brute force, which I've seen work. It's just it hurts
Yeah.
my soul to watch it work though.
Yeah, I believe last time I was on the broadcast, we had a lot of pushes through that B main, that like garage there. But
hmm
I don't know. We're gonna see something different today. We are into the character select. We got VLK. They got all their picks in already. You see, I like the Yoru recently added back after the finding
hmm
of that little bug where you can, just put your TP through between walls. And both sides going with the double duelist, it seems like. I don't see any ciphers yet though. So me playing cipher a lot on this map, it hurts, it pains me, but I do like these picks so far. Very similar team comps.
Yeah, and at the very least, you do have the Killjoy, which is going to be the sentinel of choice for both of these teams. Unfortunately, not going to see Yoru. I personally have yet to cast a Yoru game, and I really want to because I think his kit is super cool. But that won't happen, at least in map number one. Teams, if you can hear me, please, one Yoru game. That's all I asked for.
Yeah, honestly, seriously. I love the flash blind, like the blind with the TP combo as well as the ultimate. But, you could just run through a site, get so much intel, and while you're in it, just, pull yourself back to safety. Like it's just such a useful, scenario that you could do. And Mystic and Valkyrie, like I said during the character select phase, the only agent that we see different within the two teams are you sub a jet for a race.
Hmm.
So both similar characters and agents in the sense that they do have that mobility, but you see Raze has the boom bot as well as the ultimate, which is a major difference maker here.
Yeah, it just allows you to control a lot more of these corners, whereas Jet want to be able to go super aggressive or stay super safe, as Kuya is going to be able to grab that orb right off the bat. And into the pistol round we go. Not a whole lot has happened in the first couple of seconds, but action looking to happen over on the B site.
Oh, and you're getting what you wanted, right? You have that nice, crisp push through mid. You got the three-man push up there, just trying to get that mid control through market. And oh, Mystic, they're pushed. They're kind of pushed back into a corner. They give up site
They're through.
control now.
Yeah, they're through, and it looks like it's going to be Kuya with the backstab. Doesn't land the shots though, and that's going to make a big difference. They will still be able to get onto site. They will be able to get the plants as Yachi does finish off Kiko, and that should be the round. Cass is going to be able to get onto site, finish off Nightmare, and that'll be the first round.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, that Raze, just the kit that Raze has so many different options. You see the nade coming out, getting that nice blow in there on the planter, and Mystic picking up round one here in decisive fashion. Only two of their team men go down.
Yeah, really clean round there. Going to be able to save their pistols as well. And here, into this next round, it's going to be that Spectre buy. Trying to farm up. And, I mean, the big deal with this round, of course, is can you make it clean? How clean can you make this round? Because it's being able to hold these weapons going into the next round without having to invest a whole lot, and then it really becomes that bonus round.
Yeah, and if you're Mystic, you want to play aggressive because you have that major gun advantage, but at the same time, you don't want to hand Valkyrie a gun, right? You don't want to give one of their players any type of Spectre or anything like that. So you have to find that good balance, and they're moving their way through mid. It's like you're going to get what you want a lot tonight here.
Yeah, it's definitely a big mid focus, and they're already through. They're into market. Perhaps slowing things down, but the Raze once again with that paint shell, able to find a pick. Now pushing through, finds one. Yachi chimes in with a second in this round, and Kiko, well, he's praising the sun, and that's not what you want to do. Nightmare will find one, but he shouldn't be long for this world. Does at least have a Spectre, and we'll see what kind of magic he can work with the weapon, and the magic's dead.
Yeah, and a great showing yet again. Just 2 rounds, 2 amazing, lineups here by Yachi playing that Raze. I love Raze so much, and I'm just gonna continue bringing it up because Raze is just such a fun character. Been in the game since beta. Not a lot of changes to her other than that original two paint shells over to 1, right? So just imagine what Yachi would be doing if there still were those 2 there, right?
Yeah. I'd rather not. Raze, in this iteration, perfectly fine. I am definitely okay with that. And what a lineup. That's going to actually split the push there. But that's not going to stop Kiko from finishing off Cass. And now they will get to get onto site once again. But can they actually follow up? And the answer is, yes, they can. Nate and Kiko able to follow up this time around. And it looks like this bonus round, well, that's really all it is. Swindle, trying to strip away any of these bonus weapons here will be nice.
Yeah, and Swindle, 1v4, not much he could do. Like you said, just going to try to hurt that econ because econ's something that's going to be really important towards the team's success. But no, Kiko picking up the 3K with the headshot there with the Vandal, and in the round 2-1 here on Ascent, our first map tonight.
Yeah, nice little crisp kill at the end, and now we're really into the business round, of course. Full rifles all around. Wink's going to be a little bit light when it comes to armor, but Kachow actually going for an Ares buy. A little bit low on credits, so decided to opt for the Ares. We'll see what he gets done with this weapon.
You can never underestimate that Ares because seriously, it's a good gun, right? Everybody sleeps on it,
Yeah.
1600 credits. It's not. Vandal's better, Phantom's better. If you could hit your shots with an Ares, you could wipe someone off the map in just a second, right? So I'm excited. I like that pickup there. Instead of going with opting for light shield, being confident in himself. Pick up that kill with the Ares. There we go. Nate gets the entry, and they're into sight.
One enemy remaining.
I mean,
Spike
confidence.
down A.
Maybe so, but free upgrade, even better. And
planted.
they'll be able to secure a bunch of rifles for themselves, and it's back down to just Swindle in a 1v3 situation. And it's going to be very difficult as well. And, that shock dart, if I'm Swindle, I'm out of there. I'm out of there. After getting shocked like that, better believe I'm not trying my luck. And it looks like Swindle, he's got the same idea.
Yeah, and you see a lot, we're going to see tonight in a lot of these matches, when you're at that high level, you got those lineups, right? So Sova just making sure those shock darts go off the wall. We've seen it already twice tonight with the Raze paint jar, and now we got Killjoy, and we had the hot hands there earlier too. Right? That hot hand, something we saw, I believe it was in the Envy versus 100 Thieves matchup over in the Masters qualifier, where if you combine the hot hands over with Asha, when you pull the guy in, you can't do anything about that. You're stuck, right? You're gone you're out of the game there, out of the round.
Yeah, you throw it on the vacuum, and you get sucked into very toasty location you definitely do not want, as we're going to have 3 ults available. See where they go. Nate grabbing up an orb, and oh, yep, that's a toasty surprise there.
Here we go. Nightmare. He has that ult available, and there we go. Timber just picking that up, the ult orb. Now 3 ultimates available for the attacking Valkarie side, as they're just going to try to do whatever they can, make their move into a site, get the bomb down, and ultimately win the round.
Yeah, Kuya trying to bait out some shots there, kind of standing out in the open. But Kachow on this Sheriff. Mystics, of course, on a bit of a lower buy, but that's not going to stop the close range headshot, and follows it up with a nice one. Yeah, 2 for 2. Big play coming out there, and gets, a little bit griefed, I would say, by the Raze, but it happens.
Luckily, no, we talked about changes. Luckily, the Raze satchel does not do damage to teammates anymore, right? Kachow could have been in a much worse position. But lucky for him, there was that change. Really impressive to see him be able to pick up those 2 nice shots over there with the Sheriff.
Oh, yeah.
Taking the gun advantage away from Valkarie, as well as putting Mystic in front when it comes to a man advantage here with 13 seconds left. They're just going to do whatever they can to get the bomb down, but Cass is going to say not today. Oh! There we go. Spike carrier down, and they are not going to have enough time to plant. And Yachi with the ultimate ability coming out there, picking up the final elimination of that round, 3-2 for Mystic.
Yeah, and that's a massive, thrifty round there coming out from the side of Mystic, being able to finish that one off with pretty much no investment, and it all started off with Kachow just nailing some beautiful shots. Close range, and those are very difficult, especially with the Sheriff. You have such big recoil. that if you miss that first one, and the second one gets a little bit messy to try and land, but if we look at the Valkyrie side, they've got all their ults available except for one. And honestly, if you're 2 points away, technically you could play for both of those orbs just to have all your ults available, but it doesn't look like they're gonna make a play for that.
World Divided coming out though as they make their push into sight. The nade goes down there though from Yachi on Raze. And oh, the flash as well. And Killjoy.
Fury.
And you see all these ultimates, the util being used, just showing again why Ascent is a map that, you know, that util is just such a difference maker. Like all other maps, but
Yep.
I personally find on Ascent it's just a little bit more, right? You know, you can have that real difference in a round just off of, you know, that one Killjoy turret, that one ultimate. It's a game changer.
Yep. Just so many choke points. Cass, though, does force his way through, and he is going to be able to finish one. Now, Wink, with this Odin, perhaps looking to just hold the corner to let the defuse go through, but that will be, of course, the swarm grenade. Slowing things down, and Timber lands the shot. Wink unable to control it or pre-fire well enough to win that duel, and Valkarie will get back on the board. And you know, it's so far this aggression, yeah, it started out 3-3. The aggression is starting to pay off, but it feels like for the side of Mystics, they do have a lot of this early plays figured out. They just haven't landed enough shots to slow down the push.
Yeah, and I can tell, you know, Valkyrie, a team, they like being aggressive. They like, you know, moving their way up throughout the match. So Ascent being a map that has so much room for an offensive team, I think is really playing in their favor. I'm excited to, you know, take a look and see exactly what Mystic likes to do. And oh, the knives do not land there. And Nightmare, though, gets the first one on Swindle, the early round pick.
Yeah, and now on to side. A little bit of spam to try and break down the door does succeed in taking down the door, but they are at still tremendous advantage, and the trades are quick and they are swift, and it's all of a sudden just down to Yachi. Yachi's not going to be enough as Kiko will finish off that round. Valkyrie really starting to amp up the pace and really starting to try and overwhelm the side of Mystics, as we saw like some of these early plays they figured out, but when you just have overwhelming amounts of numbers from the side of Valkyrie just rushing at you, how do you stop that?
It's just gonna take one round, right? We saw Kachao. He had that great 2K there with the Sheriff, my mistake, as he just, you know, took that momentum away. Valkyrie's starting to get on that groove. Everything's going right for them. So it's a matter of, oh, and the Odin spray coming out, and, you know, anything like that. Just an early round pick. And oh, one more shot lands, you know, and Nate's gone. And that can change the entire round. So Valorant's a game where the momentum is so key towards your team's success. I can see this game completely turning around in Mystic's favor as well later on.
But now it looks like they're showing some attention over to that B site, and you know, don't really like that lockdown placement. Probably should have put it behind the box there, and a little bit of a blunder there is going to hurt their push it ever so slightly, because it is only ever so slightly, because they're still onto site, they're still going to be able to find the kills, and they're still going to win this round.
Yeah, and Nate, you know, the entire team from Valkyrie, that ult goes down, they start moving in, it gets taken out, they don't care, right? They're just making their way through. You're not going to stop me, yeah. It's just another thing that you're going to have to push through and focus on, because right now, every single player on Valkyrie is just doing their job as well. The same thing for Mystic, right? There's been no players so far, including Wink, right? He's not up there in kills yet, but he's getting that intel down. He destroyed the lockdown, which could have been insanely detrimental to his team, as they were trying to, you know, hold that site there, which unfortunately did not go in their favor. And here we are. Nice, a nice little default push. Are we gonna see another mid one here?
Yeah, And it looks like they're going to be on a low buy. Once again, over on the side of Mystics. We'll see if they can pull off some thrifty heroics once again as Cass. Oh, that's not... Yeah, able to bait
Knife
some
coming
shots out.
And oh,
Secret Agent Jet.
he's just crawling through there and crouch. What's going on?
Secret Agent Jet is now into the
Kuya.
backlines. Kuya! Undercover agent.
Like,
Looking down mid. Might find
There's
some
one.
market, but finds the backstab onto
Two.
Yachi and will be able to find two. Gets
Oh.
Cass as well, but will get dropped in at the end, and all of a sudden they have to be aware of their backside. Is now Nate looking to force his way through. Won't be able to get any extra information, but it is going to be a 4v3. Advantage goes to Valkarie. Mystics,
Yeah.
how do they get back in? And they are on a low buy, so most likely they just send it anyways.
yeah, and you see they have those two ultimates available. Probably, you don't always use those on a save round. So I'm just guessing, right, just like you said, the running in, unfortunately, did not work for them, as Nate's good for two and Timber gets the other. And it's now 6-3 in favor of Valkarie as we head in to the final quarter of our first half here tonight.
Yeah, this first round, or first half, looking heavily in favor of Valkarie. But, I mean, Valorant's a game where no matter what the score line is on that first half, it can definitely just be the reverse on the second half. Because
Yeah,
that's just how the game is.
100%, and when you look at both teams' comps, right? Mystic, they have an offensive team comp, right?
Yep.
Asha has those smokes. Sova, very two-way, controller with his darts, recon, everything, the intel he gets, as well as Raze and Phoenix can just enter you into a site, which, just like, there we go. He's going in with the Jet, and here now the ultimates being placed. They have two more available if they want to use them later on this
They're
round.
deep.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah. They are deep into it. They're fighting in the back end. Oh, Kiko gets detained. 2 players detained. That's going to be massive. It's just a matter of can they actually push in it. It doesn't look like they are. They're slowly taking their time. And I feel like that's a bit of a blunder.
Yeah, it's a missed opportunity there, right? You had a chance to make it a 3v1 instead of a 3v3, or at least isolate that one player who wasn't detained. And now Wink pulling out the ult. He gets the tag. Will he finish it? No, but major health advantage here with Mystic, even though they are down in men right now.
The spam is good. It's getting a decent damage down into Timber, but it's not going to finish him off, and that's the big issue.
Shock dart.
To get one afterwards, though, with the shock dart, and now it's into a 1v1 Sova v Sova action, and it looks like they're going to play a little bit of ring around the rosy. As Wink, he might be able to find the angle. Nightmare, though, relocates all the way around, and now the spam shots will reveal his location, and Nightmare has an idea.
He's sticking it. Is he? Pros don't fake. And he,
Oh no, he does.
It. He gets it in. Wink with the clutch.
But no, he clutches.
0.11 seconds left. Wow. And that just comes down.
Ty, honestly, I thought he made a mistake by pulling off the defuse, but you know what? I won't question. He had it all timed out, counted out in his head to the last 10th, apparently, because that's exactly what it came down to. And now, what a round that was, because that helps shift a little bit of the momentum. Yes, the weaponry is still going to suck, but they now have a couple of ults to work with, and that might make the difference.
And I really like that play there by Cass. He's being
no.
aggressive, and and if you're Mystic, you're hyped for this round, right? Your teammate just had a beautiful clutch, getting your team the round, and you're just gonna carry that over throughout. The Phoenix ult goes down.
Spike down A.
There we trades 1 for 1. Astra Divide. A bit frustrating to play around, but Cass, he plays around it perfectly, finds himself 3, and Kachow will finish off the round, taking down Kiko, and that is, I mean, that felt like that all came down because of that last round, right? They get the win there, and they have the weapons to carry into the next round to be able to then claim themselves the 5th.
Yeah, and here, the last round in the half, if you're Mystic, you're thinking, okay, we just had 2 great rounds, Wink and Cass back to back, the clutch from Wink, and I'm going to say that's a clutch from Cass, okay? I'm going to give it to him, the 3K, deciding that round in favor of Mystic. They're going to try to tie this at 6 apiece going into the second half here on Ascent, but Valkyrie's just going to try to make it 7-5 as they go for a bit of a split push here, Nightstar.
Yeah, it's going to be split, 3-2 split. But the site that has the bomb, or that they're pushing for with the bomb, does have the numbers advantage. And now they're slowly getting their backup coming. It's going to be a 5v2 situation when it comes to on this A site. Cass, he has to pull off another miracle play to tie this round, or tie this half up, and this Hot Hands could be massive. Killjoy all tossed down. Hot Hands now tossed out as well. That's going to slow down the push a little bit. That's Kuya. He's going to try and get all the way into the back, and he won't be able to succeed. Yachi does get detained.
He's stuck in a bit of a corner there, but the site clearly going in favor of Valkarie. They have a 4v2 man advantage with Nightmare getting the 2K off the wallbang as well.
One enemy remains. Get one, but answer back, and it will be Valkarie closing out the half in a 7-5 manner. But honestly, if you decide on Mystics, I feel like you're really happy with the end results, because it looked like things were going to turn into a 9-3. But you get back-to-back big plays from your players, and that just makes everything ever closer.
100% correct there. And just like we mentioned earlier, you know, this is a game. Valorant's a game of momentum. It can shift one way to another. It could be 12-0, and then you have this beautiful clutch which sparks the comeback to a 14-12 win in overtime, right? So if you're Mystic, you're gonna say, okay, we didn't make a 6-6, but we can do this, right? They have that life in them as they're going for that default push here to start off. I like that they're not, you know, funneling into one specific site here. Nice start.
Yeah, but Yachi, he's gonna peek straight into 2 people. Will be answered back at least. And we're straight into a 4v4.
And
very fast opening to this round, whereas last time it was a little bit slower, I feel.
Yeah, and I think it has to do a little bit with as well, you know, you're getting to know the other team's play style, right? You know, Valkarie, a team, they were aggressive in the first half, and Mystic, you know, they played a little back, they played more for the retake, so they're switching roles now. So they're still sticking to, you know, their team play styles, what they've practiced together as a group, while also adapting to each situation. I like those early trades, you know.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be an A threat here.
Deploying drone.
As drone will get tossed out. We're gonna get a lot of height, a lot of vertical. Dynifying where 2 of those attackers are, and now it's about Valkarie. How do they get back onto this site? Beautiful jiggle peek coming in from Nate. Baits out the shots. They get the knowledge. Kachow knows, or Kachow goes down because of it, and now
Wink.
it's all down to Wink. 1v3, he needs to land that shot, and Nate will close the round out with a 3K tie.
Yo, I thought Nate was gone there. I'm being honest. I think that turret had a little something to do with it there, you know, if you're Kiko. Because he's there, and then you go from having nobody to look at to then 2 guys plus a turret, right? So I'm lost for words right now.
Too many targets. You know, you get a little bit star-eyed seeing all these juicy targets waiting to get shot, and then the turret just throws that spoiler. And, well, we're into that second round.
I like the lineup here on defense by Kiko over on B site, blocking off a lane as well as the entrance to site where they can close that door, really giving them nowhere to go other than funneling right into where he wants them, on site where he can pick up multiple kills to give his team that advantage here. And,
Big
they're
flash!
fighting mid, Nate and Timber. That chemistry is just so nice together, right?
Beautiful flash, but a beautiful nade does answer one back. That means for the side Mystics, they're just saying, all right, time to slow things down. Where's our next approach? And it does look like they're about to walk out into courtyard and possibly into the loving arms of Kuya.
The second
Nope.
round Vandal, but he's so low here.
He's hurt.
We just watched his health go from up there down to 19 in a second. I thought he was good for at least 2 with that Vandal. And now he's just stuck in a corner and he goes down to cast as a frenzy, feeding them a gun. And one. Oh, Yachi's stuck on his own now though.
1v3 lost the spike and now he's all lost by himself. He will get finished off, and bit of a trial and tribulation there coming in from Valkarie, but they do manage to close out that second round without dropping it. And if they lost that one with those weapons, that would have been devastating.
And even though they won the round, Kuya's definitely kicking himself there.
Yeah.
It's just it's a headshot. It's the difference maker, but it's hard when you think about it. And now he's stuck. Valkarie, they're going from a major gun advantage to now a major disadvantage when it comes to guns here. Even though they won the round, their econ is not great by any means at all. But then again, it's just they're playing so well. I don't know if it's gonna matter.
Yeah, this one's going to come down to them really hitting their shots because they don't have the weapons to really just finish things off with the one tap. They're all stuck onto Spectres and smaller buys, whereas we have the full rifle assortment, and they didn't get to keep the rifle from round number 2 is the big thing. See if that makes a difference. It's very quiet.
Yeah, I like this a little slower pace, right? It's common, and Kuya gets it with a Spectre here. And there we go, the first pick to start the round as they're making their way into ace, right?
He finds a second! He found a second, and okay, it's going to be evened up, but now it's a 3v3 health advantage onto the side of Valkarie. Defense in, they find yet another one, this one with a shock dart. They don't even have to look into their eyes to finish them off. They don't have to be on the same screen.
I'm worried here, right? Mystic, they have the spike down. They could win this.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Hot hands. That's good hot hands.
No.
Now it's all down to 1 and tied.
Wow.
Somehow, somehow, they managed to win that round with worse weaponry. And I think it really starts off with that 2K from Kuya.
100% there, right? Kuya, he goes, guys, I didn't get it with the Vandal last time, but they have Vandals now. I have the Spectre. I'm gonna show them what I really was meant to do last round. Is he got those 2? They were just, it's so beautiful, man. Seriously.
He just absolutely took control of that round with his own 2 hands. And lines up the shots. This time around, it does look like we're going to see a bit of a force. Not quite the full force from the side of Mystics, but they do have a Bulldog to work with and a couple of Spectres. So it's not, this economy investment's not small.
You know, but if we see anything like last round, much as Swindle here, he's playing the role of Kuya last round, right? They can
Yeah.
win this. And oh, Kuya gets flashed though.
Yeah, now they're on site. Kiko's in trouble. He's already revealed his location. He's kind of stuck in the back
Oh,
here, and he will get dropped.
Frenzy.
Okay, Timber finds one. Still plenty more to find as it's a 2v4.
You know, Cass got that with a frenzy there. He got the double headshot in with a frenzy on that entry into sight. It's a 4v2, just showing, you know, we don't care you have the gun advantage, right? Both teams doing it back-to-back rounds, having decisive rounds so far, right? It's in a 3v1 and he goes down. Like, I don't even know what's going on at this point. Seriously.
They apparently are allergic to good weaponry. You just can't put good weapons into their hands. Otherwise, then, you know, they just can't hit shots. They get a little bit too overconfident. But when it's the under-weaponed or the worst weaponry, all of a sudden you feel the confidence rise. They're like, well, my weapon sucks. If I die here, it doesn't matter. I had worse weapons, right?
Okay, but here, both teams have weapons. So who has the advantage now, right?
The 200 IQ question.
So,
the only way to find out is to watch this round.
Yeah, we got a good one in store for us here, because both teams, they have ultimates available as well. Cass as well as Kuyo both pulled them out.
All the way in. Can he get information? I don't think he was able to, but Cass will be able to finish off Kiko, and now Wink will be able to chime in as well. Nate stuck out in market, and this like Killjoy ult this time around won't detain anyone. I think is a big thing.
Yeah, but like Nightmare now, he gets the shock dart elim, as well as Nate gets one. So it's a 3v3. Nate's out of his ultimate. Health advantage towards Mystic. And they're making their way back in. Yachi. Oh, he's done. He's
Nightmare get one apiece, and it's all.
And Nightmare, good for his third of the round. Like, Nightstar is I cannot look at a round and tell you who's going to win.
Especially that one when both teams have weapons. We don't have the, you know, under-weaponed squad in that situation this time. And, well, Valkarie, it looks like on this defensive side, they're just looking so strong here. They opened up really well on the first half, but it's the second half that they've really found their stride, and it looks like they're looking to try and close things out. They've almost got 3 ults available here. And on the flip side, there's also almost 3 ults.
Yeah, see, this round, hear me out. This round is going to be the most important round in the entire game. If you're a Mystic, 12-6 is really difficult to come back from. 11-7, also difficult, but it gives you, you know, that momentum. You're going to have Valkarie with no buy. You're probably going to get a bonus there to 11-8. And then if it does become 12-7 or 12-8, it's a lot easier to come back on econ-wise as well than, you know, 12-6 is. And Wink, you know, he's starting off strong. Kiko getting another. So we have a 4v4 again here. You know, those trades just coming in, back and forth, left and right.
Yeah, but it does look like Mystic, they will be able to get onto that B site, get the spike planted, and for the side of Valkarie, they've all regrouped. They are all together now, holding hands, and is the Kumbaya strong enough? That's the real question. The Killjoy ult might be, though.
But it's not going to cover the back site there in Boathouse, meaning you're going to have the entire, you know, Mystic team. You got 3 of their 4 players in the back there. Swindle getting the one with the Bulldog. And, he does not pick it up. And now it's 11-7. Valkarie doesn't have a buy either here. And I could see this round going to Mystic again to make it 11-8.
You say that, But Valk, they've already shown us that if they have the worst weapons, they can indeed still manage to find a way into these rounds. And they do have two ults to play off of. They have the Divide, and they also have that Hunter's Fury. Are they going to be able to put it to use is the real question. If they find an early pick, could definitely play a factor as Yachi will find the headshot. Unfortunately gets dinked, but it's only through the wall. And now the fence is here. Nightmare, can he get out of there? The answer is yes. No. The answer is no.
Cannot. And, you know, tails have changed, right? At the beginning of this half, I would have said, I have no clue who's winning. Because Valkarie and Mystic have both shown that they can win rounds that they save. He picked that up with a Sheriff. He didn't even use his Phantom.
I mean, if it's a one tap, either weapon will do, right?
100%.
He just finds it with the Sheriff, but this time around, Kuya, at long last, will be able to get an operator into his hands. This is the first op we've seen in this map. What he does with it, that'll be the real question. Looks like he's posted up on B entrance. And it's really up to Mystic to see if they peek aggressively into it. It doesn't look like the setup's there. Just playing back.
Is he gonna reveal? He does reveal he has an open.
Oh, it gained.
And there we
doesn't matter.
You know, that's why he picked it up, right?
Oh yeah.
He's confident in his own skills. You know, he just took over that entire B site. But Mystic, they're going back. They're challenging him, it looks like.
This is very bold. Usually you immediately just say, oh well, let's move away from the big gun, the 5k weapon. But here they're just saying, oh, hey look, if we kill him, we get 5k into our own hands.
Oh,
the crossfire is beautiful. And
I didn't even know Kuya got there, but he picked up Yachi. Yachi went down to the off there.
Yeah, the crossfire is just so damn good. And now, while they do lose one, Kuya still posted up here. Spike doesn't have a whole lot of places to go, but Ka-Chow makes things interesting. Takes two, and Wink just whizzes on by, and he drops the spike right then and there. It has to be Ka-Chow to finish things off, but Nightmare will end him right then and there.
And oh my, if the Phantom hit him for 140 there, right? Nightmare could have gone down. He was hit for 140 damage with that headshot by Ka-Chow, so, like inches. That could have been a completely different ending here, and we have a 12-8 matchup. Not over yet, right? It's not over. I like how Kuya is switching up his sights here with the operator, keeping Mystic on their feet. Oh, this is close.
Yeah, what a difficult position here coming in from the side of Mystics as would be challenged. They will scout it out this time around. Know that this operator is over onto the A site. Then yet again, they just challenge straight into it. They don't have the flashes to push him off these angles right now, and they're still gonna look to force.
I don't know about this play here. They're down a man. They are moving Spike over to mid. There we go. Just in in the back. They're trying to make that noise, right? They're kind of like that fake play there. Swindle stuck over under there in mid. Yachi. Oh, this game, it's keeping me on my toes the entire time. I'm amazed by how these two teams are just playing so smart, so together, and it is Upsurge playoffs, right? So I should have expected this here.
It is the business round, and these are teams that have earned their way into the nitty-gritty portions of the split.
You should run.
Now, Killjoy ult tossed down and will get taken down by Nightmare's Thunder Fury, and that's ults traded. We'll see where they go afterwards.
Time. They don't have time. No.
7 seconds.
And this, it's over.
It could just be,
It's over.
it's done off of time. And what a way for the game to end.
Nice start. I tell you, that's the toughest way to lose a game here, right? Your teammates are still alive, but you just ran out of time while entering into that site. A great job there by Valkarie, closing it out. That operator by Kuya. I really liked that pickup there by him. And just overall thoughts on the matchup here.
Yeah, I mean, the end was underwhelming with that last round, but everything up to it, it was just nail biters galore, especially with some of those heroic rounds. We just saw big shots landed by these players on both ends. But I mean, Valkarie, they're the ones with 13. They're the ones with this first map. And any final thoughts before we send it over to a break, Ty?
One thing, Mystic, if you're listening, do not be discouraged by that game, right? You showed multiple times that even though you're at a gun disadvantage, you're able to pull through. And that's just what I love about Valorant, man. So moving into the second map, it's Haven. It's going to be completely different. It's going to be exciting though, right?
Yeah, Haven, definitely a little bit more attacker favored here, having a lot of sites to work with, being able to split, just run the gauntlet and run a lot of different strategies. But the only way to find out what that second map will turn out is to stay tuned with us here at Unified as we send it over to a quick break before we return to Haven. And welcome back, everyone, to Upsurge Premier League here at Valorant. We don't have Masters quite yet, but you know what? This is the perfect place to watch Valorant to whet your appetite for those big games coming up later this month.
Yeah, and our first map here tonight, it was Ascent. R- Really good showing, from both sides, getting the job done, showing us their play styles.
Mhm.
I really like Valkyrie's aggressiveness, both on offense and defense on those retakes. But then again, I also really like how Mystic, never gives up, always able to come back when they're down. Doesn't matter. We saw from both teams, it doesn't matter
Mhm.
what guns you're stuck with, right? Both teams able to pull through time and time again. So the remainder of tonight, Haven now is just going to be a really, really tight matchup and a really great game.
Yeah, this map will be interesting to see, especially with how map number one went with the display of aggression coming in from Valkyrie. And Haven's definitely a map that favors a lot of that aggression, right? So
Mhm.
when you're coming into this map, I'm interested to see because the side of Valkyrie are starting on the attacking side. How does Mystic answer back? How do they find a way to slow the pace down to get control of these rounds? Because when Valkyrie get going, they seem to really get going.
So if I'm Mystic, I want a quick start, getting those for the pistol round, the bonus, and just continue to move off of that momentum.
Mhm.
And then as well, playing off of each other, getting those picks, retakes, just, focusing everything on closing those corners off, but also picking up where players are, and that communication is going to be so key as they are starting off on defense on this attack heavy map.
Yeah, and I mean, compositionally, what do you think you'd like to see in order to perhaps slow down that aggression? Do we end up seeing something like a Sage bringing out the slows, the wall, to make sure if they try and make a fast push onto a site that it immediately just gets cut off?
You read my mind completely perfectly there, as I really would love to see a Sage. This is a map where Sage is really useful, can be used on all three sites to play, lock it down, slow teams down as they're entering. But then again, on offense, getting those heals in, blocking off on site specifically, you can completely block off that peek from heaven as well as that push back in from CT.
Mhm. Yeah, and not to mention, you can get some pretty wicked boosts, of course.
Yeah.
Teams slowly learning how to really take advantage of those very different off angles because I mean Haven definitely very flat map there. When you add a couple of vertical elements in there with that wall, definitely changes how this map plays out in some of these sites. But the only way to really find out is once we get into the game what they end up actually locking in. And I mean, what other options would you like to see? Do you want to see the Cypher this time around over the Killjoy, or do you think the Killjoy is just fine?
See, personally, I'm more of a Cypher player. I find Cyphers a lot more effective when it comes to full map coverage instead
Mhm,
of, those areas where Killjoy is available. Another agent I'd really like to see though is Omen instead of
mhm,
possibly that Ash on the smoke side, because it's such a flat map as well as such a long map with three different sites to push. Having that Omen to, clear intel or clear or even get off that flank is just really important. So I'd really, really like to see if a team, pulls it out. Maybe we'll even see that Yoru we mentioned
yeah.
earlier.
When you're looking at fast rotations, Yoru is definitely something to keep an eye out for. I personally love watching Sean Gare's stream, and he's been spamming a lot of Yoru, and that's really just whet my appetite for this agent. Unfortunately, we're not going to see Omen as we do see Insta Lock double Astra. Unless if you've seen a composition that has run Omen Astra, I'd love to watch that kind of team.
Yeah, and even, running those double smokes, it gives you double the coverage when you go into site, and also, a lot less of restrictions when it comes to if we're pushing in, we have to smoke and then wait. You could smoke and then instantly smoke that post player, right? But again, I don't really see many changes other than the ciphers coming out from both sides instead of the killjoys.
Yep.
And as well, we have Cass going on to Sova, switching over with Wink, who is now playing Jet.
Yeah, and then over on the flip side, it does look like the compositional differences is just going to be the Rays versus the Phoenix. So that'll be the only comp differential, which is the same that we saw in game number 1. It was the difference of using that extra utility versus having the extra flashes available, also a wall, and also, of course, the hot hands. So, what are your thoughts as far as just the fact that, again, we're going to see a Rays versus a Phoenix when it comes to the one odd agent out?
It's the same as last map, really. Phoenix really, really good with the util, flashes, the molly, as well as that ultimate ability, which really can get intel, frags, anything you need it to. But then again, Raze has the satchels, has the paint blast, as well as the bomb buddy, as it just moves in and gets so much intel for you there. So it's interesting on both sides. Now Valkarie making their way up through mid to start us off here.
Yeah, and a very quick kill there as Wink boosts himself onto those boxes and immediately gets tossed out the round. Mystic down a man.
Oh.
We'll need to try and make some sort of aggressive play that Swindle tried to make. Now Cass going to get information. Will be able to spot out one before losing the drown. And Kuya will be able to finish another off. Swindle does go down to the hands of Nate, and Nate's spamming through the smoke. Will get 2 on his hands, and he will be able to find 1, and not quite the second, but it does still end up being a flawless opening for Valkarie.
Yeah, Valkarie, they have that shield advantage already, right? If you bought shields first round, you do not have to buy again. So their econ looking great thus far as well. I really like that aggression by Nate, right? He knows that he's playing Phoenix. He knows that he's able to get in, and he's using that to his advantage to help his team win and pull through here.
Yeah, as we go into the second round, we'll see if Valkarie are able to keep this one clean.
Oh,
as
no.
it's a no. Answered very early on into the round. I like that. I hate when my questions go unanswered for the longest time, but question instantly answered there is Kachao will be able to find a second with just the classic best weapon in the game, but Valkarie are able to answer back and do have a man advantage here.
Pico is very low here, so that's something we definitely have to keep an eye on as they're moving in. The tripwire goes down, and there you go. The right click is both of the Valkarie players are pushed back out too long. As here we go, Mystic trying to play that retake, and he taps the bomb. Last player standing here. Will Timber clutch it out? There we go, and he gets it here. A 2-0 lead. That second round Vandal coming in clutch for him. Great start here for Valkarie.
Yeah, second round Vandal comes in massive there for the side of Valkarie as they just get out of that with the skin of their teeth. They had to invest so much, and they lose 4 members. And that makes this round all the more interesting, because if they do drop it, they don't have that extra econ from all their members staying alive to then be able to buy into the next round, as it's just going to be big investments all around.
Oh, and I like Nate again. A great start here from him as he's just moving his team through. Yachi pulling out the nade as they're going in. Nightmare and Nate both get another. It is now a 5v2 as they make their way into B site.
Again, the aggression is unrelenting. As Kachao, he has to find picks here, but he's going to get overwhelmed. And Cass,
Ooh.
well, 1v5, tall task for him, and he's unable to rise up to the challenge.
Exactly what you said. And what I really like about what Valkarie is doing right now is they're playing that offensive, aggressive style that they had last map on a map that is that it is an aggressive map that you can have that aggression on. So they're just playing right into their own strengths. Everybody's doing what they can. Nate is having an outstanding start here to map number 2. And he's just pushing Mystic down as they don't even have a full buy here in round number 4.
Yeah, Mystics, they are also relegated to a pretty underwhelming buy. They're gonna have to do it with the pistols here. Sharon doesn't quite land there, and Nightmare, he'll be the first to start things off. But Swindle with the right click. The classic is just too good. Ty, please, how do we nerf this weapon? Why is this free?
I don't even know. Seriously, if these players, you know, the aim that they have, the skill that they have while moving along is just so impressive. The bomb is half all the way up. I like the uses of the Sheriff every round here for Mystic, and they're showing, you know, again, they do have the gun disadvantage, and he gets it off before Nate picks him up to clean him out, and it's 3-1 here for Valkarie, but Mystic starting to mount that push back up to an even game.
Okay, Mystics.
I need this. My thanks.
Calm down. That was an unreal clutch there. Being able to hold that. This was also done with just all pistols. What a massive round victory for this side. And now coming into this next round, they're going to have this operator up on Wink. This is going to be very, very key to watch. Unfortunately, no one's interested in pushing mid here, which is where Wink is posted up.
Yeah, and Wink, he's switching over from that Sova now to his true duelist form here with the op. I am so excited for this as Kachao goes down to Kuya with a nice entry pick to start us off. And now the Astra wall, the World Divide goes down for Valkarie as they're moving their way into A site here.
Yeah, they are all out onto A here. Now it's just a matter of how do they re-enter this site? Do they wait for this wall to fade as they do find two? Cass? Where is he finding these kills? He just finds them out of nowhere. He gets a third, and it's all down to Nate. Angle's being held, and Cass gets a fourth kill in the round.
Wow. And there we go. Seriously. Just great turnaround here by Mystic. Cass especially. He's doing his job. He's just finding kills out of literally nowhere, right?
Yeah, he was at 2 kills at the start of the round, and he gets himself 4, triples his total there, and what a massive round back to back for the Hunter. And now Wink, this time around, he's going to get business. And he doesn't land that first shot, but looking to get back onto the angle. Has to back off yet again.
But he does connect on his third here. And there we go, just rotating out of C. They don't want to push up on that operator. Nate, though,
or do they?
Again.
Or do they? Because now they get that early pick, but Spike going over to A.
Ooh, and I like this. I like this rotation because on that type of play, you're forcing Mystic to rotate off a Spike and here, off a site, sorry. And they just got site for absolutely free as Kachao is moving into heaven. He has his ultimate available for any type of retake.
Yeah, Nate has to be careful. If he walks a little bit too far up, he's going straight into the crosshair of Yachi, and he just wasn't spotting out that angle. Kuya will be able to eliminate Cass, and now has a very deep position here. Able to possibly cut off rotations. Wink, does he expect it? He actually does!
Go.
Okay, finds that, and now it's down to Nightmare. Can he pull it off? Can he pull off the dream?
There's one.
One down.
They're just trying to get the defuse off like they did
he's
before.
gonna get half of it off, and now he's actually just going to stick it.
A full thing, and oh, he does not pick up all 3 players, so the econ is still there if you are Mystic, and they do pick up the round as well, and it's right back here, a 3-3 game, just like we saw last time.
But it was a little bit different because it was a little more back and forth. This time around, it's been 3 rounds, and then 3 rounds straight back. And I feel like the momentum, like Valkarie, they're still finding so much success getting onto the site. The issue is Mystic. They've been able to somehow clutch out 2 rounds straight from under the feet of Valkarie. How do they end up stopping it? That's the real question. Because the attack has been successful, I would say, so far. They just haven't been able to finish it off.
Yeah, and one thing we saw last map is the post plant on behalf of Valkarie was really, really strong. Right, Mystic did a good job of they got in for the retakes, but they weren't able to just, get those diffuses off and win those rounds. But now, Mystic is just doing a great job at always coming back and getting those in, as Yachi and Wink both pick one up themselves, and it's a quick 5v3 advantage in favor of Mystic.
Kiko had to go aggressive there because, of course, they were undermanned. They needed to make a play, and Nate, he is making the play, and it's just a Spectre and the Sheriff, and they're doing magic. Timber will chop that last tree down, and that will be a 4th round. And I mean, it looks so promising for the side of Mystics, but Valkyries, they didn't stop. They kept going.
They had a 5v2 on that retake there. The bomb wasn't even planted, but Nate and Timber just did such a good job. They played for those picks. They played those angles perfectly as they moved their way through, picking up the round in amazing fashion there. Nice start.
Yeah, and I mean, the Spectre, you hit a couple of those shots, if you hit all your shots, there's plenty of bullets to continue to just spray, transfer, and finish things off. And now it's the Rays trying to get out of that very sticky situation.
The ultimate, there's something to notice that the ultimate did almost take out his own teammate in Nate, but it proves to be just no reason at all. And it's now a 5v1. Kuya with the 3K. And here we go. The momentum's, the wheels starting to turn for Valkarie here.
Oh, have the turntables, as they say. But yeah, it's 3, and then the 3 go into the hands of Mystics, and now it's 2 into the hands of Valkyrie. This time around, of course, it's the fact that they're able to finish these rounds. I think this first half has still been all dictated by Valkyrie, and for Mystics, yes, they have 3 rounds, but it took some heroics to get these 3 rounds, and I don't know if they still have that extra bit of spice, extra bit of superpower to clutch out the rest of this half, because they're gonna need a couple more of these rounds. 3 is definitely not enough.
Yeah, and if I'm Mystic, I'm praying at this point to make it at least a 7-5 game. Right? You were down 7-5 last map. You were able to bring it back, but did not get all the way. I believe our final score there was 13-8. And we're just moving in. Kachao and Cass doing their best in Garage as the and the Astra. The world has been divided here on C site, completely isolating Valkarie off to the rest of the world.
We're
but
gonna
no.
try and push through, and it will be even trades. But now Cass, okay, wait, Cass, he finds himself too, and now it's just Cypher all by himself.
Oh.
He's way far away from this, and the Divide's gonna make sure he doesn't get a line of sight onto that spike, and that means it's just a free defuse. Kiko, all he can do is to fan himself, try and cool himself down, because that was a very heated moment there.
Yeah, and you saw Kiko. He was trying to make that push around through Garage, possibly as a flank, just, you know, getting that diffuser off. But Valkarie wasn't able to hold the site. And then again, Util completely just changing the side of the game. And here we go, 5-4, another close one here. And we all love these close matchups. Very even strength wise, as both teams just doing a great job thus far.
Cass throws out the drone, take it out very, very quickly. And Yachi, his position could get a little bit spicy if he wanted to, as he has left, or still playing in that window area, not looking to descend there, and a little bit of action coming towards this B area. We'll see if they end up committing. They still have options left, as sitting in this mid area means you can hit both C and B. And with 3 people on A, the rotations might be a little bit slower.
Oh, and Yachi, he's pushed back. I like the Astra, the orbital grab, just pulling him in, not giving him anywhere to go, but there we go. He gets the first one here. Oh, Mystic's down. Oh, no. It's a 2v4 spike going down on B site.
Chow, Swindle, only one's left. Swindle will be able to open up with 1. Got plenty more to find, though. 3 to be exact.
Ooh, and Nate good for another. He goes down.
Here.
2v1 here.
Trade.
Kiko, come on. Clutch this up.
Oh, Chow
It's a
finds the
1v1.
first, and now it's a 1v1, but Nightmare has the angle lined up just
There
a little
we
bit better.
go. You know, I wanted to ask you this, Nightstar. So Astra, her ability can pull a planter away from where they were planting, but it doesn't stop the plant. If Astra were to pull a planter off of the actual, like, you know, planting range inside of a site, what happens then? Does the bomb go down outside of the site, or does it cancel at that point? Now I'm really wondering that here.
I mean, that's definitely something that we need a couple of scientists. I believe it does cancel the plant if you pull them off of the zone, but again, not super sure. But what I am sure about is the scoreline is 6-4, and you mentioned Mystics. They probably want 5. Oh, that's 2 rounds left. They need to get one of those 2.
And definitely an 8-4 half compared to a possible 6-6 or 7-5, a completely different ball game, right? 4-round deficit, much more difficult to come back from than 3 or even 2. So just getting anything.
Well, it's huge.
Oh, he gets it. It's a 3v3.
I know
And,
exactly.
okay, Tripwire slows down just a little
Spike
bit, and now
planted.
Timber also gets a 3rd. All 3 kills in this round into the hands of Timber on the Astra, and now it's a 2v3.
And something else to note, that Kiko was actually able to get that Cypher ultimate pulled out there. They did have a tag on everyone on the map, and oh, Timber gets the 4K, and it's 7-4 here for Valkarie.
Hit a very important 4K there, secures them the round, puts them onto 7. That puts them in a very solid position headed into the second half at least. And for the side of Mystics, I mean, it was a bit of an eco on that last round. So not super surprising that they didn't come out with the win, but this is what they are playing for. All the weapons out, and they have the operator out as well. They need to make it count to make this close as drone goes out, gets the tag. Now Hunter's Fury trying to eliminate this Jets, and Jet goes down. That's operator down.
Op down as well as man down on C site, making it absolutely clear for that push in as well. Nightmare trying to just get that spike down, but the ultimate coming out here from Cass and the Hunter's Fury.
Doesn't find anything.
Oh!
Now the push comes through. Nightmare trying to clear out some space. The rocket slows him down, but Yachi with 3 on the round. Some beautiful headshots and lineups there, and he gets himself a 4th back-to-back 4Ks. This time, it's going to be Mystic able to walk away with the round.
Yeah, and 100% there. Another 7-5 half, just like the last map here we saw, in favor of Valkarie to start us off. But the difference is we have not yet seen the full potential of Mystic on the offensive side. So this can definitely go down their way. They have the momentum as well from winning that final round here in the first half.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of momentum here. Maybe a bit of a morale boost as well, but it really just comes down to how they open up this half. Because we saw Valkarie, they're still very good on the defensive side, and on this more attack favored map, we'll see if things pan out just a little bit better. Nice little dart there, gets a whole lot of information, and okay, fast 2-for-2 trade immediately. How did Yachi get all the way over there? Surprise!
What just happened? He just went down over there by the attacker spawn, and it's now a 3v1. Swindle just trying to pull it out of his pocket. But no. Oh, I saw that first headshot come in.
Yeah.
And I thought this was, double headshot, completely different round, but no. Kiko, my mistake, was able to pull it back and win the round for Valkarie.
That was almost the moment there. You saw it, and you felt that it could have happened, but you know what? It didn't. And that's a little bit unfortunate, because that means they're stuck in a round deficit already starting into this half, and they're the ones with less room to play with, and Valkarie getting off to a good start. If they close out this next round, puts them in a good economy situation as well.
Oh, and I like that early pick aggression there by Nightmare. He had the gun advantage, and he's grabbing the orb, gets another one on Cass, and it's a 5v3 to start us off, as well as the spike being down. Oh, Night Star.
Dash heard, and that means Innate just gets that very easy kill. But never underestimate the power of the classic, as it's good for one. Ka-Chow now with his own classic. Is he good for one himself? Yes, he is. He still has 3 left to take care of, and well, the classic fires 3 shots, but it's not good enough to beat 3 people.
No, and the gun advantage again. Something we didn't see on the last map is kind of the opposite now, right? Where last map, if you were at the gun disadvantage, we saw you winning a lot of rounds. This time, though, the gun advantage coming in strong. Both teams have a similar buys, not quite as strong from the Valkarie side, as they are bonusing Kuya. I believe he's going to opt into taking the operator next round, as he does elect to go for the Sheriff. Here we go.
Going for the Sheriff here. But Swindle, he starts the round off right for Mystics. This is a must-win round, you have to feel. for the squad because they are already down 4 rounds. They didn't win that pistol to help them out economy-wise. They need this round to help stabilize. They need some kills more than just that first one.
Yeah, and that it was a great pick to start that round off, but they just, like you said, they have to continue to push through, continue to do what they've
Scanning ahead.
been doing. Here they go. They're moving into
That's the
B
dash.
side. The dash was heard. Are they getting? They are planning the bomb. Cass planning in a. Oh, fight does go down. And a great place to hold from mid as well as window, though.
Yeah, and the setup is almost perfect. There's no way. You can't exit from garage because that was being watched
One
by
enemy remaining.
this Cypher, and now it's all down to Nightmare. And Nightmare's not going to be able to do it. A perfect setup coming in for the side of Mystics to really take control of that B site, and they had it on complete lockdown, but this is going to be the meat and potatoes round, really, for the side of Valkarie, because now they have that operator. Yes, Kiko is stuck on a Spectre,
Right here.
but the 5K gun is in the hands of your Jet.
Yeah, and we saw Kuya was really strong on those final few rounds with the operator last game. So if he can pull that off again, I could really just see them being able to pull away with this map here. He's playing over on Seaside, and the bomb was left in spawn. If they can notice that early, or maybe get a pick as they're rotating to get it, which unfortunately they do not, that could have been a difference maker here.
Yeah, having to walk back could have been a game changer, but Swindle, this position here is a game changer. And Valkarie, they're the ones to win out. They find themselves 2 opening picks without losing a whole lot of health as well. And things just got that much harder for the squad of Mystics. They still have to deal with an operator if they want to relocate over to C. That's still being watched. But now they're still looking to commit to A, and they will have a small man advantage, but the dash comes out and Cass eliminates Nate.
Wink as well, good for 1. Is this now a 3v3, and that's just how fast Valorant changes up, right? As well,
30
the
seconds left.
ultimate being able to be used by Nightmare. Will he pull it out? No, he will not.
Dart
Last
destroyed.
player standing.
Nightmare Kiko find the picks to get onto site, and Kuya will be able to be the one to finish off that round, eliminating that one and securing themselves the 10th round. Mystics, they had a nice response to get onto the site, but unfortunately unable to maintain the site afterwards.
I agree with you there. And if you look at the score, we're in another situation much like last game, right? If you're Mystic, you're on that bye now. You have to force up because you know if you don't win this round, it's looking real tough to pull back up, right? All it takes is 2 round wins after this if Valkarie does end up winning. And there we go, an early pick by Kuya. I like his style, and
Okay.
no, he trades him out here, Nightstar. Are they gonna plant on? They just took Seaside, didn't they?
Yeah, they just forced straight onto the C site. They find that pick, knows that, hey, they probably invested a lot of resources in just making sure, hey, we have an op over on C. We probably don't need a whole lot. As long as that op can slow things down, we're okay. The rotations will come through, but they strike so fast, and there's just no room for them to breathe. Now, 1 man down. Do they make this retake happen?
One thing I will say is you can never count Valkyrie out, right? We saw them in that 5v2 earlier. We've seen them when they've been down before, and here we go. It's a 3v3 because Nate's just doing his absolute best. He gets 1, but it looks like they're just going to easily trade out his body, as unfortunately his ultimate does expire, and he gets knifed to finish the round. Swindle Adding a little spice to that one there, and we have a 7-10 map number 2.
Swindle finishing off that round with some pizzazz as he just waits for the return of the body. And it was just so well done. You know that Nate popped the ult. He's going to be running in. You just got to stay alive, allow someone to relocate, and just wait on his return. And, I mean, eventually he has to return, right? It's not like he can just stay in that second form the entire time. By the time he returns, finds himself with the backstab. And Mystic trying to make things a little bit more spicy.
No, Kuya. He peeked the angle and the Ruma's just chasing him through and the judge comes out. Gets the one. That was close though.
Yep, the Flying Judge. Able to finish that one off. It was a little bit trying to finish. Had to expend a little extra effort. But you know what? He didn't need a whole lot of effort to finish off Nate.
Yeah, Nightmare though. He's good for 2. He got the first one with the shock dart and Wink. The judge just coming out of nowhere, isn't it here? Yeah, Nightmare. Very, very smart play here by him. So it looks like he is going to save that Vandal there. Just try to make sure that he has that money to possibly buy for a teammate or, you know, keep that money for himself for a later round. Oh.
Making sure he saves, but it looks like he's
he
going to
pushing
have...
it?
Okay, this is a late attempt here, and he finds himself 4 on the round. It's down to 1v1. That's the peak. Not a whole lot of time left, and he finds the kill, but he's not going to be able to finish the round. But that's a whole lot of weaponry lost there, Ty. Mystics, they take a round, a much needed round, mind you, as it does bring them to 8. But, I mean, their money, it still feels, it's in the gutter.
Lost for word. Nightmare just aced out of absolutely nowhere. I thought he was going to save. I did not see him pushing back into that site. And there he goes. He's just right up in their faces. Unfortunately, he was not able to pull out the defuse. That would have been definitely the play of the night. Looking back at it is now they're playing that off there in short A.
Oh, no. He whiffed.
And he goes down.
Very punishing peek there, stuck out in the open. If he doesn't hit that shot, it's basically a one and done, and that's exactly what happens. As this is a crucial round. Both teams don't have a lot of funds left. And the Flying Judge at it again. Won't be able to find any joy though. As Valkarie, they're going to be able to come out of this with a one-man advantage. They're going to be able to toss out the Neuro Theft to get knowledge of where these last 2 players are. And they know now that it's either an A play right now, or it's going to take a little bit of time for them to relocate to a different site.
Yeah, and I really just love how Valkyrie's playing here. I say it time and time again because they prove me right time and time again. They're doing such a great job at holding the site, but we gotta push back on to... They've left the site alone. And they're just gonna have a free A site here, but no. The recon just lets them know that they're back as Cass is planting the spike here. And the ultimate coming out, canceling that spike plant. And there we go. Running out of time, he does get it. Swindle makes it a 2v2.
2v2. Now it's time for him to toss out his Neuro Theft. They know where these last 2 players are. That means they don't have to necessarily watch out for their back. Aware of what's in front of him is Cass. He will be able to eliminate Nightmare, and it's all down to Timber. Has some options. Does he go for the defuse play, try and win the round, or does he go ahead and back off? Again, money situation's not good as he tries to salvage the round, won't be able to do so, and Mystics eclipse that 8 rounds that they had in map number 1, and this is getting incredibly tight now, Ty.
And Mystic, they did a great job there on that fake rotate over away from A site, pulling Valkyrie off and then just going back in, playing off of each other. You can tell the communication was there, and they just did such an amazing job now. And it looks like they're gonna head towards C off of the bat. But he's playing, Kuya's playing the Marshall, does not connect. Oh, he goes down.
Doesn't find any shots to land there. So that definitely would have made a large difference if he gets 1 or 2 tags. Now Swindle is aware and wins 2 fights back to back. That means there's only 2 members left on Valkarie.
Last player standing.
Oh,
And
Swindle
now
gets
just
his
1.
third. Yeah, Swindle with a great 3K there, showing that he's there, and he gets the 4th. Oh, and Timber, he's kicking himself there. Great try, but when you're in a 1v5 scenario like he was there, it's quite difficult to come back from that. So we have an even match up here, Nightstar 10-10, moving into this pivotal round. Whichever team wins will have the gun advantage, as you can see the econ not all there if you're Valkyrie, right? So Valkyrie has to win this round in order to just continue to push through. And if you're Mystic, you're just going to keep riding on that momentum that you've worked so hard to build up. And it looks like it's going to be a close one right down until the end.
Yeah, we're into attack pause here. As I would assume it's Valkyrie taking the tactical Mystic with the momentum here on the second half. 5-3 when it's just the second half, being able to tie things up. And they've got plenty of econ to work with. And they also have the alt economy, more importantly, in their advantage this round. 3 alts already available, and almost a jet alt available as well. So they're working with a lot of tools here, whereas on the flip side, Nate and Timber, they are close to their alts, but they do need a single point to actually have those online.
And so this round is definitely going to be one of the last rounds for the next few that we're going to see both teams have full buys, right? Unless we see a Valkyrie win where they go flawless, they're not going to have a full buy next round, right? And then heading into a possible 11-11 or a 12-10 is just going to completely dictate based on what type of econ both teams have going into it.
Yeah, and what impact does this alt advantage have for the side of Mystics? Like for Valkyrie, what are you looking from them early on in this round? Do they play aggressive and try and get one of these orbs to get Nate's or Timber's alt online? And if they only push for one, which alt do you really want in your hands?
So if you're me, if I'm playing this situation right now, I want Nate's ultimate first, right? He's 22-15. He's leading the way for Valkyrie right now. But hear me out. If I'm IGLing to my team, I'm focusing less on getting an alt and more on taking out or baiting an alt from Mystic. Wasting an alt, possibly something with the Rays over on Yachi, as well as possibly just making Kachao use that ever so powerful Worlds Divide to just completely drown it out of the round. Both takes it away, as well as pushes them back towards they have to completely refarm that back up before the end of the game here.
Okay. So, bait out an alt. And for the side of Valkyrie, I mean, Kuya does have the operator. That could play a factor here as well. We saw last time around, missed that first shot immediately, then he got punished. Can he change the narrative for this round? Because it is the all-important round. Not a whole lot of wiggle room left in this map. As we're getting a deep dive into a lot of these players' eyes. Which one scares you the most?
So when I'm terrified of Omen. Okay? His
Thank God we don't
eyes,
have Omen.
they aren't real eyes, right? They're just, it's terrifying. And the fact that his paranoia can just blind you out of nowhere and then they just pop up on your screen. Other than that, though, I'm going to have to go with Reyna as well.
Headshot.
Oh, and we're just, enough of who we're scared of. I don't want to talk about Kuya and that shot there.
Yeah, straight to the head, mind you, as well. And Kiko, he could get caught out. He's going for a very aggressive push, but he will be able to find two before he gets downed there, and that means
Last player
4v2.
standing.
Now 4v1 situation. It's all down to Cass, and it's going to be a tall task for him to finish out this round for his squad. Does have the spike on his back and 30 seconds to work with.
Oh, but you can never count Cass out last
30
map.
seconds
He
left.
was on Phoenix, and he was just able to pull anything out as he
That's the
gets the
first.
first on Kuya.
That's the second.
That's the second.
He needs an ace.
We
He's
saw an ace earlier this game. It did not come out. Oh, and that's devastating as he's now down to 16 health. He's just going to have to
10
do whatever he
seconds left.
can. Does not look like he's going to plant the bomb, and he's instead
Oh,
going to
he's been
try
found.
to save it. Does he survive here? He does,
Not an
and he
op.
gets the operator for his teammate. Here we go. Okay, not ideal if you're Valkarie, right? You don't have full buys for your entire team, but you do have that round advantage, right? If you give up the next one, it's not the end of the world. You're not pushed up on the corner at the brink of going to a third map, right? And you look at the buys, they're still pretty good. And then on the Mystic side, you ruined their econ, you got an op for your teammate. Although you didn't get the round win, I see that as close as it could get, you know?
Yeah, and now it really just comes down to what can Wink do on this offensive op? We don't see the offensive op too often here. So that'll be a big point of interest to watch where he decides to op. Right now it's on B, trying to cut off rotations perhaps, but now he's going to back off, and the divide does go out. It's going to split and isolate C. No one is on C as well, as they'll be able to find a pick. Early pick on the Timber means man down, man advantage for the side of Mystic.
Ooh, and the shock dart came in just a second late, as it could have dealt detrimental damage. The wall does come down as well. Great usage of the smokes, though, with the Astra Stars there by Mystic, as Nate got one. One's now 4v4 here.
The run it back used and invested there and will be ultimated. At least he finds one, but the slow peak means that he's able to find another. Wink now able to hold this long angle because of where they planted, and Nightmare, the only thing he can do is just leave this site because there's no time and no way he gets that defuse off against that Hunter's Fury and that operator, and things, well, it's 11-11, and things are all tied up once again. This is truly a nail-biter.
This game has been so neck and neck. I want to see these style of games next week when we take a look at the first LAN event for Valorant, right? And these are players, they're pushing their way to the top, and this is UPL Valorant at its finest, right? And it's only going to get better from here. This round definitely hovering in favor of Mystic. They have a gun advantage, they have a buy advantage. Kuya and his squad over on Valkarie really don't have anything going in their favor, other than the fact that we both have seen them come back from impossible situations throughout the night so far.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go super aggressive. They know that they don't have the weaponry to take heads-up duels, so They've just gone all the way around in the back, and now they're a 5-man squad walking out. Wink will be able to find the first one. The Suction unable to find that, and now Kuya finds the second.
Kuya.
One enemy
2v2. Yachi gets 3.
3. It's a 1v2 situation. Timber able to pick up a Vandal, and now he has to hold this angle and beat Yachi. And unfortunately, well, Yachi is able to win that and still save the operator.
And there we go, right? That just the how close that round was, right? If I'm watching this game and I see Valkarie have Ghosts and Classics while they're trying to 5-man retake against a team as strong as Mystic, I'd say 9 times out of 10 that's a clear Mystic win. But it's that one time where it turns into a complete nail biter that you begin to like second guess everything you've thought about this game so far.
Yeah, exactly. And now Nate and Kuya, they're going super aggressive here. They have the operator, and it will get called up here as it shoots out the drone. And now it's going to be 4 people looking to aggress onto C, but they don't account for this cubby. They haven't looked for it, and now he's just going to jump straight into his arms. He's looking for a nice little hug. And boy, is he there to deliver. He finds himself 2 right afterwards as well. And that's 3 on the round. Wink all down to him, and it looks like I think we're having some overtime rounds here, Ty.
Yeah, and you are right there. But and it's just it's a game of inches. That's what Valorant is, right? If that bomb buddy detects Nate in that corner in Cubby, that round is completely different, right? They know he's there, but they didn't get that intel that they needed. Because now Valkyrie goes back to their stronger side, the attack, as they try to get the first round here in overtime, also riding on a decisive win. And then, of course, Wink, he's going with the operator. Unfortunately, though, he will not have the credits to buy any type of shield or his abilities, so he's just going to have to live off of that one singular dash.
Yeah, only 1 dash, but at least has this massive weapon in his hands. Will get spotted out by that recon dart, but decides to just continue to hold the angle. Now drops off the box. Still, the one member to hold C, and he finds the first pick in the round. An absolute critical pick, but it gets answered back by the opposing jet. Both of these jets pulling in their work.
Here we go. It's a 4v4.
Pass, perfect angle. They don't know where he is, and he gets the shot in the side.
There is the smoke up in heaven blocking off Wink from any type of angle he may try to hold. Able to get the spike down as well. Well, he's hit hard, though, by those shock darts. Wink, again, not at a very high health number. He could go down very quickly. This round is not over at all, right?
Man advantage, but the man advantage is going to pay off, as it will be the side of Mystics to take the first round of OT. Beautiful trades to retake the sites, and that gives them the first match point in overtime.
Match points.
And I'm really like, if we go to a third map tonight, Icebox is a completely different style than both of the maps we've seen so far. So I'm not complaining if we go for another one, right? Just, it's gonna show really how these players are able to adapt. Valkyrie pushed up against the brink of losing this map and going to a third. Mystic fighting to stay alive. Is here we go. Nate trying to get his ultimate possibly. Nightmare gets a good one to start us off here, though, in a 13-12 overtime situation.
Valkyrie need this round to keep this map going. And they find the first pick. Now for side of Mystics, on this attacking half, both teams have been slightly more successful on the attacking side, and now it's time for them to show it. They can close out this map and send us to Icebox if they're able to pull this off. And they're taking a split approach. It's going to be that Cypher lurking and 3 aggressing approaching onto C as that's the dash. That's going to be the start of the play.
And here they go. They're into the site. The Astra smokes do go down. The bomb is playing in back. Site a different angle.
Spotted out.
Oh, he gets traded out. We have a 4v3. Now a 4v2. Beautiful play there by Kiko. And now they're just stuck in the corner. He's flashed. Kiko going
Finds the
in.
first.
Oh, no. And we have a tied game. Second double overtime coming up. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but Kiko sacrificed his own life in that round. It's called a Cypher flash, right? He just jumps out. You're focused on the Cypher, and then Nate just pops up, able to get those frags in here. And we go into double overtime.
Into the second overtime here. Wink still going back onto that operator. Holding that in his hands, and woo! This is how this series ends. You know, I'm all for it as a caster. If we go into a map 3, I'm also all for that because this match has already delivered. And Wink, he has delivered yet again, finding that first pick, this time onto the opposing Jet, which means Jet can't make a play to answer back.
And I like this push up there, not pulling back here. If you're Valkarie, you just have to get into the site and do whatever you can. Possibly get a flick. The util coming down, and there we go. It's down to a 4v4 here in double overtime. A nail biter so far. Swindle good for a first now as Kiko gets hit hard by the shock darts, and Yachi using the paint shells just combined with his Vandal to take him out here. The bomb still not planted in a 3v2 scenario.
So plenty of time left. But now,
Nate.
Yachi had that in his grasp. That would have been rounds, but now Swindle still doing work. Throws out the cam, finds out where Timber is. Now it's really down to Chow.
Remember, Alexa not to pick the bomb up there. Could have done it with the Astra. You know, the stars being used, running out of time. Gonna have to do whatever you can. And no, Swindle picks him up. Good for 3. And advantage Mystic here.
Mystic once again win that first round, but they have to win that follow-up. That's been the issue, at least in that last overtime. Going to have another go at it, and Wink opts not to go on to the operator, and now it's Kuya with the op. Kuya.
You know, Nightstar, looking at this game so far, we had 7-5 halves from both teams in favor of their offensive side, right?
Yep.
So far, through the 3 rounds in overtime we've seen, there hasn't been a single attacker's side that has won a round. It's been all defense here in overtime. So, it's just pulling through that last part. Players like Kuya and Nate have been so clutch thus far. They're just continuing to do it. They're staying consistent, which is what sets them apart from every other player in this league, setting them into this playoff situation here. And there we go. He gets the first.
His number gets called, and he responds to the call, gets himself that first pick. Now they're trying to get the spike delivered onto that B site, and spam coming out, damage coming through, and look at these health bars, they're so low, but they're able to find a couple of kills. Cast finds 2. That makes this round dead even, 3v3. Health bar's
Ooh.
not in favor of Mystic by any means, but Valk, they still need to be able to find these shots.
The
Spike's
ultimate
planted, that
coming
means
out.
Hunter's Fury. Hunter's Fury thrown out. Can they push past it and find
There
those
we
kills?
go.
Kiko does! And it's all down to one.
One enemy
Swindle.
Swindle, can he send us a map 3?
Oh.
It's not going to be successful, as we will get one more defuse and one more overtime.
This has been a crazy matchup so far. I'm really
Switching
impressed
sides.
right now, right?
Overtime.
Every single player has pulled it out, right? We just saw Kiko had a great attempt there. Just great play to finish that off. Nate has had multiple clutches throughout the game.
He's on a
Swindle
30
as
bomb.
well. A 30 bomb in playoffs here. Like, this is the quarterfinals of the UPL Valorant League. And we have a 30 bomb. He is such a skilled player. Clear to me now why he's playing that duelist.
He's definitely pulling his weight here. And Wink, once again, trying to pull his own, as he has that operators, that jump peak. Isn't going to bait out the shot. Does put him a little bit on edge. They will get a little bit of information. They know where Kuya was. And Swindle posts up in garage.
I want to see. I'm looking for offensive win from either side, because it was the offense was just so a key factor throughout the first two halves of our game. Now going into almost a full third half here, as we have played 4 rounds thus far in overtime. Nate, they are down a man. Chow is playing in the back over on B site there. The team forced into garage as they're making their way up to Swindle. He gets 2.
He gets 2. He
Three.
gets a 4th.
C. Flawless.
That's 4 on the round for him. Swindle, the ultimate con
Switching
man,
sides. Match
just
point.
rips away that round from the hands of Valkarie. And
He is
once more,
so good.
Ty, Mystic are on map points. Can they close things out?
You know, at one point, they're going to finish this out, right? If they continue to have these wins on the defensive side, at one point, that attacker advantage is just going to pull through and pay off for them. Oh, and Kuya goes down first. So Valkarie on the brink of a third map. Also down a man, but no, Timber evens it
Spike
out.
down mid.
It's getting pushed
Whoa.
though. Able to fall back.
Enemy back.
Recon dart will be thrown out. And now Nate.
Nate, good for 1.
Only good for 1.
Matchup. No, but Kiko.
Spike down.
We saw
Attacker
his
spawn.
clutch in the last overtime when they were down 14-13. And now we see it again as they are down here.
This duel is
Gosh.
important.
Whoever, I think this duel
Oh, he's
decides
not
the
looking!
round. And oh no.
The
It's
timing, impeccable. Yachi finds the kill. It's down to a 2v2. 35 seconds left to decide this map, if we're going in map 3 or if we head into yet
30
another
seconds
overtime. And it looks like they're about to meet on C.
Mystic, if you can hear me, they're on C. But they're going, and no, they're
Wait,
rotating.
they're
off.
leaving!
They're
No, wait,
leaving C.
Valkarie,
no.
come back!
Go back. Turn
Come
around.
back!
No.
Oh no,
No.
they're oh,
They just
Malo.
gave up the site.
Oh,
10
and
seconds
Malo.
left.
You know they're confused right now as they make their way back in here. Nightmare trying to do what he can. They're playing together quite. Oh, Yoshi has the ultimate available.
Revealing area.
Yachi has ult. He can toss it out. He can channel it. Stop the plans or stop the
enemy
defuse.
remaining.
Here
Fire
comes the
in the
rocket.
hole. A 2v1 does not connect.
Doesn't find it. They can stick the defuse now.
Yes.
And we're going into another overtime. It looks like we're in for a long night, Ty.
this game,
Switching sides. Overtime.
over and over again when I think it could be over, they do not stop amazing me every single time. Right now, you can see Wink is debating, does he go for that glass cannon operator, or does he play it a little safer and go for the Vandal? He does elect to take that operator now. See, Nightstar, are we going to see an offensive win yet? Is it going to happen?
That's the real question. But you know what I do know? It is that for a first playoff series, it is definitely what the people call a banger. Because, oh boy, is this a fun map so far. And Nate, he's going to start things off right. This could be the offensive round we were looking for, as they're going to have a man advantage. Wink.
I hope y'all filled your popcorn, because this has been such a good game and series as well.
Oh, it's an offensive round! They're doing it!
No. They're gonna have the advantage. The spike is down as well. Running out of time. Swindle, though, good for a first. He has 3 more to take care of. Kuya, though, does play his ultimate out here. It's a close one. It's not over yet. And there we go. Kuya, good for 4 here in overtime. And it's a 16-15 advantage in favor of Valkarie, who's been strong thus far on defense. Are we going to see them close it out here? I'm not sure at all.
Valkarie, they at last get their opportunity at map points. And this is not just a map point, this is also a series and playoff point here for them. So for Mystics back against the wall, they have to find success now on the offensive side, which neither team has yet to find success until that last round. And put up or shut up.
Important to point out. We talked about Nate having 30. He's now at 32. But Kiko as well. Sorry, not Kiko. Swindle. Swindle has also hit 30. 2 separate players on different teams hitting 30 in this marathon of a game. And here they go. It looks like they're hitting on a site with just Kiko there to defend it. But now they make their rotate back over. Valkarie trying to secure the game here. Match and series point. Kiko gets damaged quite a bit. Loses a lot of his HP.
Losing a chunk of HP, unable to return it as well. Tried to spam through the smoke. It's all down on this retake coming in from Valkarie to try and end this series. And it looks like they're going to be able to do it. They've got themselves 3. It's down to Swindle, the ultimate swindler. He has HP advantage. He has the HP advantage. He won't be able to peek. He wins it. Advantage as he gets himself forward to send us into another overtime tie.
I don't even know what to say. We've almost played a full extra half in a 16-16 game. 34 frags coming out of both Swindle and Nate. This is amazing.
My heart can't take this anymore, Ty. Someone, please, finish this game. The roller coaster swings are too much for me. I was okay at 3 OTs, but now we're too deep. We are too far deep. Soon we're gonna have a second map just completed in just one map.
Oh, Swindle. He's stuck in a bit of a pinch here. But oh, he's able to rotate out, leaving it at a 5v5. You know these players, they're shaking a little right now. You know, it's definitely nerve-wracking.
Oh, they almost lined up.
Oh, and that could have been devastating, but Wink was able to get the first one for Mystic, as they now have that 5-4 player advantage. Yashi playing on top of the Vox, but Nate, he's showing us he's still here. He takes Ka-Chow out there. Oh, no.
The gravity wells.
Wink.
He's stuck. Yachi.
Yachi and Cass.
They're there to bail him out.
There we go,
And
Kiko.
Wink.
It's down.
That's
no. Timber
Mystic.
goes down.
Right
Oh
here.
my.
Switching
Timber.
sides.
Dropped
Match
at the very
point.
end, but Mystic once again winning that first round of OT.
1 second, peeps. I gotta visit the Astral to play some
This has
stars.
been. See, I'd like to say that this is advantage for Mystic. But then again, we've seen, I believe it's 5 times now, that they have come back from being down that much. So,
Scanning ahead.
I don't know if we can call this map over yet.
Oh man, this map definitely not over, and it's up to Mystic on this offensive round to finally close things out and give us a short breath of air to refresh ourselves, because man, I am getting absolutely sweaty, and I cannot imagine what it is like in game to just have this pressure. But
Kuya.
Kuya will start things off right and
Kuya.
finds himself a headshot through the smoke. 2-man advantage for Valkarie.
Right here.
I can't take any more of this. This has been just such a tight game, back and forth the entire time. We might play a full game here. As
Full
Yachi-
map in a map.
Player standing.
Oh my. And
Oh,
it's now a 4v1. Can Ka-Chow close this one out? He does have
30
his
seconds left.
stars. Yes, he does block the vision here as he makes his way up into C site. Does not look like they're rotating off this time, though. They are looking, and he gets one, but no, Nate takes him out. And we're at 17 to 17.
Switching sides.
Oh my
Overtime.
gosh.
we're into overtime number 6.
I should probably
This
play
has
some
been-
stars in the Astral
I
play.
don't think I've seen a longer competitive game of Valorant. In tournaments, the most I think I've seen is a 16-14 game. In game, usually by the
Yeah.
time you get to around 15-15, someone's done and somebody's voting to tie. So we're entering new territory here. Stuff that we've never seen before.
Nate taking so much damage before he's able to even see the site. Big chip damage there. We'll have to expend both of his utility to heal up. Now they're gonna dash on in. Yachi
Yachi
just
gets
snipes
one.
the head of Kuya. Straight out of that
Gets
dash.
taken
but
out
will
by
get
Nate,
returned.
though.
Quite
Nate
flattered.
continuing on his absolute tear.
Whoa, Nightmare. He's watching up. He knows that there could be a recon bolt coming through. Now, Wink trying to entry back into the retake for his
Has
team.
dash available.
Oh, he does have that util available. He gets Nightmare,
one.
dashes into sight,
Clears
Timber.
space. Oh, it's there!
God!
Visiting underground.
Kiko,
Kiko!
bottom of the scoreboard. That doesn't matter
Switching
because
sides.
he finds 3
Match
kills in that round and rises above, puts Valkyrie onto series points.
Okay, I need to take a second. What did I just watch? Kiko, he's down, low on health. He's in a 1v3. 3 shots, 3 headshots, and he gives his team the series point advantage here. This is crazy.
This is nuts. I'm losing my mind. And you know what? Valkyrie, they have an opportunity to close this out, but
No.
stuck in the concuss animation, does get traded out. Nate, though, taking incredibly low.
Oh, he
Again,
does
expending both of his
use
utilities.
wall to heal up.
Yep. Throws
We
both of
have a
his utility
rotate
down.
here. We looks like we do have a rotate here. The Cypher Cam as well as Kuya over on C site. Is he playing that operator? I'm not sure yet, but I can say that this game, I'm not sure how much more I can take of this, right? We've played
Kuya.
a full extra half. We've
It
played
could end this round, though. 30 seconds left. Mystics, they have to commit to a site. They do
30
commit
seconds
to
left.
A.
Spike planted.
There we
And for the
go.
side
The
of
bomb's
Valkarie,
down.
they're just waiting for Kuya to make his rotation all the way over. Drone
Oh,
goes out.
he's
Does spot.
stuck.
That's massive.
Oh,
That is
Kiko
massive.
again.
Kiko.
And now a
The man of the hour.
4v3. Are they gonna? They're closing it out. Nate does have Yachi in his sights, but Yachi takes him out. Now here we go.
Oh,
and now
it's there, but
just
Katao 1v1.
It's a 1v1.
It's a 1v1. Can he win it?
No!
No.
And it's
Valkarie,
over.
take it in a map and a half worth of rounds. 19-17. An absolute burner of a second map.
Wow. Okay. That's a way to move on to the next round in playoffs, right? Nothing beats that, surely.
Oh my lord, what a map we just witnessed. What a series we witnessed, especially that Haven, but
I need to take a breather for a second, okay? I don't even know what to say anymore.
I can finally breathe now is what I'm saying, because that was just breath just held so many times in that overtime round. Yes, for Mystics, they had so many opportunities to finish that map out and send us to Icebox, but time and time again, the resilience on Valkarie cannot be underestimated as they managed to at last close things out.
And just looking at that, I don't know if I could have taken another map, right? After seeing that transpire right in front of my eyes, I'm still digesting what I just watched. We had clutch after clutch from Swindle, Nate, Kiko saving the game and putting his team at an advantage. Just everything was so perfectly done. Couldn't have done it any better, no matter what happens.
Yeah, that script was written absolutely perfectly. Kiko chilling out at the bottom of the board, but you know what? He was biding his time. He was waiting for the perfect opportunity, just like any cipher, lurking in the backgrounds, getting all the information, calculating every single thing happening. And he comes out, finishes the job with a 3K, and leads his team to close out that match 2-0. And you know what? I think that's really all we can say. Any final words as far as just that this series for Mystics? I mean, commiserations, but what a match you still played, Valkarie. We'll see you next round.
I'm excited. Okay, I know I'm definitely tuning in for the rest of these playoffs. I hope you guys do too, because we just played a map and a half, including 12 rounds of overtime, and this is just the quarterfinals. We still have the rest of those to go. I just got told we're around 4 rounds short of the world record for a competitive game of Valorant. Just let that sit in. So we had God Squad and Velocity. They went for around 40 rounds. I don't think I could have handled that. That was just incredible. And I'm lost for words.
Yeah, that was an absolute nail biter and an exciting match to watch, but that's all for us tonight here. I've been Nightstar, he's been Ty, and I mean, first night of Knee, he's been the one uh, showing us all the beautiful angles on this map, and of course, Hyper pressing all the buttons here. So, from all of us here at Upsurge Premier League Valorant, we wish you a good night, but be back here next week because we've got more bangers left for you guys to watch.